Come here. Get off.
Listeners, welcome to this week's episode of The Turn On. And I gotta tell y'all something. I am not okay. I am not okay. You wanna know why? Because right now, I should be on somebody's yard in a sweatshirt and some jeans, drunk out my mind, shaking my ass on somebody that I failed to run up on in college.
Or repeating.
I am not okay. This is what? Homecoming season. And I can't go home. So today we're going to do quick dispatches from the field about fond homecoming memories. We thought since we can't really do homecoming, we might as well reminisce on what happened in the past and plot on what will happen in the future.
Yes, I like it.
So, our first dispatch comes from someone who wanted to remain nameless. Mm-hmm. And she wrote...
A faithful listener.
Yes, a faithful listener. So she wrote in. So, killer.
Let's get it. All right. Homecoming always provides a sexual freedom of sorts. It's a gathering of which allows anything from a flirtatious walk-by of a former or wishful flame to a morning after that I did or did it again. Often blamed on the mixture of college besties and alcohol, you mentally allow yourself freedoms that you might not on a regular outing. While this year is different and there's no homecoming in the true sense of the word, perhaps it is important to, if not more so important this time, allow yourself random or freedom just to be in and go with the moment. Even when 2020 has taken the ultimate jump-off rally and excuse shield away, it's taught us to grab the moment whenever we're able by the balls, both literally and figuratively. Yes, Fran?
Homecoming always taught me YOLO. Like... There's this meme going around right now on Instagram, and it's like a red cup, and it's like, what's in this cup? Just drink it. Okay. It was like a homecoming memoir.
Oh no.
Yeah, that is like
That's awful.
Literally, I was laying in bed this morning scrolling through pictures about where I should be right now. I should be at work, bullshitting, trying to act like I'm getting work done so I can get out this bitch early so I can go to somebody's random happy hour. Mm-hmm. Like,
it is that time.
Homecoming.
But it is not.
YOLO, motherfuckers. YOLO. Do you have a homecoming tale you want to share?
I only have one, and I think I shared it on the show already.
That was a wild night.
Lord,
because it was one of those situations where we was like, usually when we're out, I keep an eye on Killer keeps an eye on me. But this year we both was on one.
We were,
and I
mean, why not?
Why not, right?
We was single,
and my big brother was in town, so he was able to keep an eye on everybody. So I was like, I ain't gotta be responsible. Fuck yeah. So I wasn't keeping an eye on Killer. Killer was in her own world, and I didn't even know that a whole world had been built until she pulls me.
Until we were sitting at dinner?
No, not even at dinner.
Oh, right.
I'm like drunk in the bathroom. She's like, girl, I'm about to leave and go hook up with so-and-so. I was like, wait, what? So, yeah.
I mean, at least we follow protocol, drunk and all.
Yes, we do, and I appreciate that because, we do have friends that will dip off drunk as shit. I mean,
and we be looking for
I
their
definitely
asses in the club
have been
all
drunk,
night.
cussing a friend out like, you can't leave without telling me. So, yeah.
Just very briefly, spent the day with some folks who were in from out of town. All day long.
All day long.
You know what I think back, though? So the day before we had spent time with this person, I had my hair wrap on, you know what I mean? He wasn't even checking for me. Next day, I came out with my hair fluffed out. I had my abs popping. And then it was like,
yeah.
Exactly. I was like, oh, you weren't checking for me yesterday, but now you see all this ass and you interested. That was interesting. But I ain't care because that's all I wanted. So.
Yeah. No, it definitely was a, like, how'd this happen?
Mm-hmm. And for everybody, and I remember because we were sitting at dinner, and I don't even think you saw all of the
I didn't.
touching and whispering and whatever that was happening until I pulled you to the side.
Yeah, I didn't, because I think I was sleeping some nachos. Shout out to our homecoming
Perennial.
spot. Yeah, so there's this one spot in DC that we always go to. The food is good. It's not like the most amazing Mexican food, but it just like,
it's not Mexican.
It's not. It's like Cuban.
South American. No, I think South American. Or I don't.
Anyway,
whatever. It's good.
Anyway, so it's good food, and it's like the drinks are great. It's just the whole experience about it.
And we've been going there for like 20 years.
Easily 20 years, more than 20 years. So yeah, it is our spot, and it's not a homecoming
of things have
if we don't go there. Yeah, like either you do it before you get to the yard, after the yard. But that was also the year that our girl did that fancy brunch, the political brunch.
Was it? Oh, I missed it because I was out with somebody.
No, you came late.
Oh, okay, I did. I'm thinking about the year before when I was.
But yes.
No, that was the Friday before she had.
Yeah.
There was something else, and I missed it because I was on a date.
Yeah. And so it was dope because we had like a good old, like we got
drunk. We ate good for free. I mean, except for a donation, obviously, but like
it was good.
That was a good time. But but all of that said, I ended up not even having sex because I realized he was too twisted to finish, and I believe in consent. So we did a whole bunch of other stuff, and then it was time to do, and he was green and swirling around. I was like, "Oh, you can't do this."
I'm not trying to catch a case.
Yeah, I was like, "You, let me get you some water. let's lay you on down." And that was that.
Yeah. So also as a mom, I always try to line up my custody weekends with homecoming, which is kind of fucked up because although my ex didn't go to Howard, he is very Howard associated. Yeah, he always in the mix, and so like
we always see him every year.
We see him, like even when he divorced. They like.
I feel like the year that we talking about, he handed me a bunch of money for you, and I put it in my bank.
Yes, he did. He did. I was like, okay, thanks. And then he texted me, he was like, your family in town, you ain't say shit to me. I'm like, we're not together.
Relax.
That's the weird relationship we have. But anyway, yeah. So but I take precedence because I went to Howard. So I'm like, you are a hanger on. You will have our child and figure out what the fuck happens. Yeah. So yeah. Because also
no problem.
I enjoy my home being like the spot
where people
congregate, that kind of thing, or people staying. I live a lot closer to DC now, but people come and stay and that kind of thing. So yeah. Okay.
Fun times.
All right. Well, next story is about a good friend.
With a wild night.
Yes.
Okay, so Homecoming Chronicles 2020. When I think back on this particular night, it was so wild, and I just think like this is something that my friends would never let me live down. Because not only was there like lots of sex with lots of different people, that sounded really bad, but at least two that night. I also really embarrassed myself on my best friend's elevator in her apartment. So one of my bulls was in town from New York, and he came to homecoming every year with, and he was very good friends with one of my other girlfriends, old dudes that she used to deal with. So we would all hang out, we'd go to parties, the clubs, and all that good stuff. Would have the best time. So it was one particular homecoming, he was in town, but I was also dating somebody in DC that I was, sleeping with regularly, and we were having all these crazy sexcapades and all that good stuff. Long story short, I slept with both of them that night. And I literally went from one dick to the next dick. And in between all of that, I was drunk as hell. Like, I probably was one of the drunkest nights of my life that I can recall. And while I'm waiting at my best friend's house to go on the elevator, I'm like, I gotta pee, I gotta pee, I gotta pee. So anyone who knows me, I really can't hold my bladder like that. So I ended up peeing on my best friend's elevator in her apartment complex. And fast forward like 2 or 3 years later, she would always remind me of that night because her dog would get on the elevator and he would sniff in the same spot where I peed. And she wouldn't let me live it down. So homecoming that year was lit, her elevator was lit, and all's well.
Yeah.
Once you're a woman of a certain age, moral of the story is your bladder ain't shit. Especially when you're drunk.
Hers has gotten worse over the years.
Yes. But here's the thing. Like, your friends will have you in some bullshit. Like, in some...
Hyping your ass up.
Yeah. You be like, how the fuck is this? But you can't be but so mad because you're like, you know what? At some point, you're going to be taking care of me. So all you can do is just help your homegirl hold on to a little bit of dignity as you Jesus walk her out of the club. I call it Jesus walk because you got one hand around each person and you getting drugged like you on a crucifix. So blasphemous. But yeah, your girls definitely, my girls definitely had me in some bullshit for homecoming. Like, either, and you know what, sometimes it'd be some good shit like, oh my God, what the fuck happened? Let me tell you my homecoming story.
Oh, okay.
So I had a girlfriend, and it's one of those things like a friend. My girlfriend had a guy that she was dealing with. He had his homeboys come down from New York. I think they was from New York, or I don't fucking know. His homeboys came from out of town. They come for homecoming each year. They always come in town. So it was like year after year, I was running into the same dude. Sometimes we fool around. We might kiss or make out, dry hump, eat my pussy.
Who is this? Wait.
Let me finish the story, and then I'll tell you names.
Okay.
So homecoming come around, and this was when Beyonce just dropped which album had Freakum Dress on it?
4?
No, it wasn't 4.
No.
It was the one it was B-Day.
Yes.
She had just dropped B-Day, and we was getting ready to go to Dream, bitch. And this was when I was living like right on the strip. So everybody came to my house. We was hype, getting high. Freakum dress, get your freakum. We was like litty like a motherfucking titty.
Yeah, I remember this.
So we get to the club. We just kicking it. Run into dude and his crew. And we kicking it. We go to, and you always got to go to eat. So we went to eat after that. After we went to eat, you remember that scene in Insecure where the girl was getting, where Kelly was getting finger fucked at the table? It was very reminiscent of that. And so we knew it was not time to go home. I don't know where they were staying. I had like a million motherfuckers staying in my house. So I was like, I know we can't go to my house and pop off. So bitch, we checked into a hotel room in Chinatown looking like straight hoes. Like, bitch, we pulled up in that bitch. I had on a fucking because this was when I was much smaller. So I wore it was like a little t-shirt. I had on a fucking t-shirt, a little clutch, and that was it. And we need a room. I didn't have a fucking toothbrush. It was just like, we got shit to do. Girl. And my homegirl, she with her dude, they do the same thing. Bitch, I woke up the next morning and it was like, where are my panties? I was like, where the fuck am I? I couldn't even remember where I was. I had to look out. I poked out the window and I saw a sign with Mandarin letters on it. And I was like, Chinatown. We're in Chinatown. So then I texted my girl. I was like, So she was like, yeah, I'll meet you in the lobby. Let's get some orange juice and head home.
Holy fuck.
So yeah, that was fucking around with my homegirls. Ended up, I mean, like, I can only imagine what this hotel check-in I mean, they probably see it all, but it was legit on some like, we stumbled in that bitch, and all I had was an ID, $20, and a credit card in my pocket.
I mean, the essentials.
The essentials. We even had to call up for fucking toothbrushes. So yeah, every time I pass that Red Roof Inn in Chinatown, I'm like, good memories. Except I don't remember them all.
You don't remember shit.
Okay, let's listen to our next dispatch.
Homecoming experiences. I think probably the best story I have, because I thought about it, I had a few, but I think this is probably the best one. It wasn't often that I hit homecoming season and wasn't in a relationship, because I'm always in a relationship. But one homecoming after we graduated, I think maybe 2, 3 years after we graduated, I don't really remember. Came in town, was super excited to see everybody, and ran into my old man sugar daddy out and about. And of course, he was like, yo, how you been? Whatever. Dipped off to his house. There was no sex involved, but there usually wasn't sex involved with him. He was just really into oral sex. Like, that really just legit was his thing. And he was really good at it, so it made sense that that was his thing. So, did that, got clothes back on, fluffed my hair back up, went back out, hit the yard like ain't shit happened. Of course, on the yard, then, ran into somebody that there used to be a little fling with. We chatted, and, of course he was like, come back to the hotel, and I was like, nah, I'm with my girls, because at the time I was like, I just can't be bothered, like, I don't want to. I really had no intentions on coming that year and, like, hooking up with anybody. Like, I was finally single, I was hanging out with my girls, and, like, I couldn't be bothered. But of course he continued to text me for like the entire day. So, staying at my girl's house, and he's texting me, and we're like getting ready to go out. So I was like, whatever, just come over. So I sent him the address to her place. He came, I went outside to the car, to the truck. We got in the back seat, we had sex, I sent him on his way. It was basically like, leave me alone, here's something, don't text me no more. But little did I know that it wasn't going to end there, because, never get enough. So, anyway, went back in the house, cleaned myself up, we went out. And of course, he just continued to text me like the entire night, the rest of the weekend. Then I ran into my ex, and of course, he was like, so what's up, how you been? And I was like, nah, not trying to hear it. And we just, that night, I did go home with my girl. She didn't come back to her house. Well, no, she came back, but then she left, so she left me there. But then the next night, I did hook up with my ex. And then we talked about getting back together for a little while, and then it was kind of like, this is what it is. Let's just, call it a day. So yeah, that homecoming weekend, there was, the sugar daddy, oral sex, the fling, car sex, and then the ex, his house. But yeah. Oh, how we've evolved, and I cannot believe people are not getting homecoming seasons this year. I actually feel bad for people that are single and look forward to homecoming, and then so they can like relive the glory days.
All right, so this one is hilarious because one, if it ain't homecoming if you ain't putting miles on that pussy. Like this was rode hard and put away wet. But also,
She had fun.
she did. But also, her story made me think like navigating homecoming season with a boo.
Which was usually my case, which is why I ain't got a whole bunch of stories.
Yeah. I mean, I had a few. I mean, usually so I was either married or I wasn't with you. Like, like I'm kind of one of those, like either we together or we not type things. So yeah. And then I'm trying to think, other than when I was married or like engaged or dating my husband, I don't think I really had a homecoming where I was like with somebody. Or if I wasn't checking that hard for him because. But yeah. And even the ones that I was married or with, engaged, like, nigga, this my homecoming. Like, you better figure that shit out. I'll catch you on the flip side. We like run into each other, but like it wasn't like we going out together. It was like, hey,
Good night.
you might like send a bottle over to the table and buy me and my girls drinks. But no, what are you doing? This is my homecoming.
It's her time. Exactly. Yeah, I, for some of them, was involved with folks who actually went to our school. So they would be at homecoming, but with their crew. And I'd be homecoming with my crew. And sometimes we would be like, oh, we're at this place. And they would come over with their friends and we would mingle, that kind of thing. But nah, it's always a you with your people mission.
Most of our girls' husbands are the homies. And they kick it hard with us. And we actually have a few husbands.
Pouring drinks. And
Yeah, they like, like, you ain't go to Howard. And we have a few husbands that are like, okay, you have earned a Howard shirt at homecoming. Like, you might have Howard shirts, but you've earned this one because you have set up for enough baby showers, broke down for enough line reunions, and held enough purses and jackets.
Acted as bartender for the tailgate,
Yes.
all of
and
that. Yeah.
most importantly, they bring their fine ass friends around.
That they do.
That they do. So we tip our hat to you. So also what was crazy to me is how she mentioned she had this old man and he was like, I ain't trying to fuck, I'm just trying to eat your pussy.
Which definitely made me think of you.
Girl, I love me an old man with a kink. Like, oh, that's all we doing? I just gotta sit here? Okay, cool. Have fun. Go at it. And last, I love how, again, she noted that your girls always encourage some fuck shit. Like, I remember that particular homecoming, and I remember her not being with anyone. And she's like, I'm going to kick it with my girls. I'm going to kick it with my girls. I'm just like, bitch, if you don't get the fuck on some dick, I want to see you act a fool. I want to see you act a donkey. So
Now's your chance.
now is your chance. Go at it. Have fun.
It's encouraged.
Yeah. So, all that to say, homecoming season, we putting some miles on them pussies. And I promise you next week, next homecoming season, I plan on making up for lost time. Because you know what? Also, sorry, I was trying to wrap it up. But I remember
Changed your
when
mind.
I first got diagnosed, it was in December. And I kept telling everybody, like, I'm going to be Gucci by homecoming. We got this. My hair going to be back. I'm going to be Gucci by homecoming. And I am Gucci by homecoming. Yeah, but I ain't got no homecoming to be Gucci with. Yeah, this was about to be some full, like, pure fuckery. So, you know what? I think the Lord knew that I was going to break my pussy. So he needed to like keep me from acting a donkey. 2020. But guess what? 2021, motherfuckers, it's on. So that's that.
Yeah. Hopefully niggas act like it's actually something going on and mask up and we can be out of this shit by next year. I don't have a lot of faith.
The way I
Because every time I scroll
on
IG,
bitch, I was like, okay.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Like, get y'all shit together so we can actually do homecoming.
please
season.
get your shit together so we can do homecoming season. If you're not
I
from,
don't want to be doing a dispatch again.
yeah, I don't want to be doing
unless
dispatches.
it's from homecoming.
Yes,
Unless it's from.
we will be
yes,
doing
okay.
dispatches from homecoming with our mic. We will allow folks to rock the mic at homecoming. And with that, your two favorite hoes making it clap.
Nope.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
This episode was produced by us, Erica and Kenrya, and edited by Ballistic. The theme music is from Brazy. Now you can support the Turn On and Get Off. Subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast app. Then drop us a 5-star review and you'll be entered to win something that's turning us on. Post your review and email a screenshot to us at theturnonpodcast@gmail.com to enter. Our Patreon page is also live. Become a supporter today and access lots of goodies, including 2-for-1 raffle entries. Don't forget to send us your book recommendations and sex and related questions. And follow us on Twitter at The Turn On Pod and Instagram at The Turn On Podcast. You can find links to books, merch, transcripts, guest info, and other fun stuff at theturnonpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon. Holla!